I want you to imagine something for a second. I want you to imagine what it would feel like to skip 7 years of trial and error. Would that feel good? Give me a heck yes in the comments if that would feel good. If you could skip 7 years of trial and error, which means 7 years of like, let me try this thing. Oh, that didn't work. Okay, back to the drawing board. Let me try this thing. Okay, that didn't work. Back to the drawing board. Like, how good would it feel to skip all of that time? My guess is it would feel really good because I wish I could go back in time and do that. Can't, but that's okay. That's why I'm here. Heck yes, right? Like, it would feel really, really good. Imagine what it would feel like to not have to spend tens of thousands of dollars weeding through multiple strategies, trying out different coaches, different programs, like to finally feel like you know exactly what you're supposed to sell and the steps that you need to take first, next, and last, exactly for you though. That would feel pretty good, right? That would feel pretty good. I see a heck yes. I see a hell yes. That would feel pretty good. Now, like, what if I handed you this realization in the next 15 minutes? Holy freaking shirt balls, right? So here's the thing. There's going to be a lot of you in here. I'm going to do my best to see the comments or questions if you guys have them, right? The first thing I want to do is I want to make sure that you know if this is exactly for you, okay? And if it's not for you, that's okay too. So tell me this. Tell me if this is you. You know that you are supposed to build something. Like, there is no question in your mind. And you have known that for a long time. You've felt the pull, maybe it's been years, and that pull doesn't go away, even if you haven't done anything with it. Is that anybody here? Like, yes, I know I'm supposed to create something of my own. I know I'm supposed to build something. I'm supposed to be a founder. I'm supposed to be an entrepreneur. Who knows that for a fact? Give me a heck yes in the comments. I see your wave. Yeah. Okay. If you know that, this is likely for you. Now, you could know that, but also have been struggling with what the heck do I even sell? Who has struggled with what the heck do I even sell? Okay. You probably have like a notes app full of ideas. You've gone on deep, dark rabbit hole deep dives. You have, maybe you've even built out some of those, right? You've tried this over here for a little while. You tried to launch this, or you half started this and you never finished, or whatever that story is behind that, right? You may have asked ChatGPT, will this be profitable? Right? You've bought the courses, probably more than one. You have modules that are sitting maybe half watched in your Google Drive or in your logins. You followed the person who made it look easy and you tried to do it their way. And you followed the strategy that made someone $1 million to a T, and you didn't get the results that you expected and know that you're capable of, by the way, right? Does that ring true? How many of you just went like, oh my gosh, how did you get in my head? Type yes right now if you're like, oh my gosh, how did you get literally in my brain? I'll tell you how I got literally in your brain. Is because I am you. I was you. I just want to see how many of us are doing this together. Yes? Okay. I see you, I see you, I see you. Right? Now, I need to say something that I need you to actually hear. Okay, so I want to make sure that you're like, whoop, ears are on right now. You're actually paying attention. None of what I just talked about, none of those things that I just described were you to a T, is a character flaw. Okay, it doesn't mean you're lazy. It doesn't mean you have ADHD. It doesn't mean that you're scatterbrained or bad at follow-up or that you're just not cut out for any of this. Can we just all like make a pact and agree right now that just because that might be your past story, it does not mean that you are not cut out for this, not good at this, have the ADHD, can't do a business. It doesn't mean any of those things. Okay, we're not going to let our past experiences, the things that we've done or tried, mean anything about who we are and who we are destined to be. Can we just high five like virtual pact? Does that sound good? Right? So if you want to commit to a new way of thinking, this is going to be the perfect opportunity for you, right? So I want to give you 3 3 reasons why maybe this has been your story in the past. Even though you know, like, I am meant to build something. I just need to figure out how, or I just need to figure out what to sell, right? And the first reason is because you were sold information. Okay, I see the high fives. You were sold information when what you needed was direction. Let me say that again. You were sold information when what you needed was direction. Okay? This entire industry, the coaching industry, is built to sell you more input. Another course, another framework, another download, right? And you keep buying because it seemed logical. Because if you don't know what to do, then, I just need to learn more, right? I mean, that's how I thought too prior to 2015. If I don't know what to do, I must need to learn something. Let me buy this education. Let me hire this coach. Let me do this course. Let me take this program, right? Let me go to this event. But you were never actually short on information. And that's a really important nugget I need you to hear. You were never actually short on information. So I can guarantee you that if you go look at your camera roll, or your saved folder, or your screenshots, or your Google Drive, or your course logins, that you have more than enough. Who has more than enough in all of those places? Right? What you've never had is someone going, hey, okay, this is for you. This is where you need to start because it's the best one for you. And I'm going to give you that. Wild Rose Welding says, am I the creator and the founder? Yes. Yes. Right? So that's number 1. You were never short on information. I need you to know that. Number 2, every single blueprint or strategy that you've ever followed was not yours. It was somebody else's. And it worked for that person because it came out of their life and out of their strengths and out of the way that they were wired. And when you ran it, it didn't fit. It didn't work. And from that, because you didn't know, because we don't know what we don't know, you concluded that it was you. You were the broken part, right? It's because of you that it didn't work. I am here to tell you and show you that you weren't, because you were just running someone else's blueprint, someone else's operating system on your hardware. Make it make sense. We're not doing that anymore. Okay, that's number 2. Number 3, nobody ever told you the order. So you tried to do all of it. Oh my gosh, I just shut my car off. You tried to do all of it. Let me turn it back on. I need my air conditioning in here. You try to do all of the things. Offer, content, branding, funnel, audience, all at the same time. Without an actual sequence that made sense. And doing everything at the same time feels exactly like doing nothing. Am I right? Doing everything at the same time feels exactly like doing nothing. Because you don't make any progress. Right? So you see that it wasn't discipline, and it wasn't follow through, and it wasn't that you have ADHD. You just didn't know what step to employ first, and then next, and then last, right? So that's what I'm going to give to you. How does that sound? What would you do if you had absolute clarity, you knew exactly what you were meant to sell, and you knew the exact steps to take first, next, and last because it was by your design? Freaking amazing, right? Because here's what that means. If you have that, then you don't waste time. If you have that, then you don't spend 7 years figuring it out. And I'm going to, spoiler alert, most people don't make it through 7 years of figuring it out. Most people will quit before that. It is just the truth because that's a long time. So I'm literally designed to go first, to figure it out, and to turn around and show you the shortcut. And so that's what I'm doing now. Because what we're doing is very individual. Okay? Not every person is built the same. That's like coming to me with a recipe, like this list of ingredients for a recipe. And now you've already mixed the dry ingredients and you're like, Gwen, what do I do next? Right? But another person comes to me, they're going to make the same recipe, but they've already mixed the wet ingredients and they're like, Gwen, what do I do next? I literally can't give you both the same answer, even though the goal of creating the recipe is the same. The steps that you're going to take are going to be different to get there. because you have previous experiences and you have skills and you have wisdom and you have knowledge that is different than everybody else, and you are designed to move differently, but you've been following a strategy that someone told you you had to follow because it worked for them. Am I making sense? Give me a high five. Yes, like, yes, Gwen, I feel this. This is exactly what's happened to me, right? And again, I'm only speaking from experience. I know this because this was me, right? So here's what I want to reframe for you, and I think this is really important. Every time you started and you stopped, your body was just telling you, like, this is not for me. It didn't feel good. It didn't feel exciting. It wasn't easy because it wasn't yours. It didn't feel 100% you. And there's a difference between doing things that are uncomfortable because they're new and doing things that aren't aligned for you. Do you know what I mean? Those are two different, very different paths. Doing something that it's uncomfortable because it's new and you've never done it before and it might be hard, and doing things that aren't aligned for you. They're two very different things. Because the absolute truth is, you were never meant to build somebody else's blueprint, or on somebody else's blueprint, I should say. But that's what you've been doing this whole time. Like, I mean, just think about architecturally, right? If you want to go build a house, you need a blueprint, right? Now, builders have blueprints that get used all the time. So they have like a standard set of blueprints. So it's like, you could pick the A-frame house. You could pick the balloon frame house. I'm literally making this up. I don't know these terms. Okay? But let's just say, like, you could pick from these different blueprints. Most people are not going to go, I'm good with that blueprint. It's perfect for me. Like, I don't want anything else. Yes, I love the color. I love the cabinets. I love this. I love the back. Like, no. What's going to happen is you're going to pick the frame and you are going to go, well, I like the frame, but I want the color to be this, and I want the bathroom to be that. Like, that's how you are designed to also become the founder. You are not supposed to just take someone else's blueprint and build it exactly the same because it's not yours. Hopefully I'm making sense. Wild Rose, I followed you because you were a cool doctor. Awesome. Hopefully I'm still a cool doctor to you. But I'm also building future founders, right? So the truth is, you were never meant to build on someone else's blueprint, but that's what you've been doing this whole time, and it's not your fault. And I need you to know that. It is not your fault, because we've just been told and taught, like, you go to school, you learn this thing, you implement this thing, you're successful, yay! But that doesn't take into account how we are individually designed, okay? So I spent 7 years figuring this out, and holy cannoli. If someone had taught me this 7 years ago, I can't imagine what that would have done for me, right? So I'm going to save you 7 years. Don't say I never gave you anything. But let me show you how, okay? So if you don't know me, if you don't know my story, I know some of you guys do because you're like, hey, I followed you when, whatever. But if you don't know my story and you're new here, in 2015, I had a newborn, my first baby, and a $15,000 pay cut working as a doctor of audiology that I did not see coming. And at that point, I thank goodness for that, by the way, because I was introduced to entrepreneurship. And it created this fire inside of me that I could not put out no matter what I did. And I thought about it all the time, and I knew that that was my path. And I was like, how do I get there, right? And I became obsessed. I knew it was for me. I knew I was meant to build my own thing. And a lot of you who are here watching this can probably feel that same feeling, right? So in 2018, I hired my first coach. And my first coach I hired because she had made millions. And here's what I did. I copied her exactly. And it wasn't really intentionally, okay? And tell me if you felt this before. Because when you hire someone because they've done something that you want to do. This was my first introduction to coaching. I had never spent this much money hiring somebody. And I had never done this before. So the way that I created content looked similar to hers. The offer that I created looked similar to hers. What I thought was going to get out of this coaching program was $1 million business. I was like, yeah, I'm going to show up. I'm going to do what she tells me to do. I'm going to create content like she does. I'm going to make an offer like she does. And boom, I'm going to have $1 million business. Let me tell you what really happened. I launched the offer that I built, and I spent months building it. Months. Not one person bought it. Not one. And I shut it down in 30 days. And I decided at that time, I'm like, you know what? I must not be cut out for coaching. That must be the answer, right? And I went back to network marketing because that was the first thing that I tried, and it was what I knew. But the fire never burned out in here. It never burned out. So I kept investing and I kept learning, and I would purchase a new strategy and I'd be like, oh my gosh, I haven't seen this strategy before. This is it. This is the one that's going to take me to the millions, right? And I would employ it for 30 days and I would follow it to a T, and it wouldn't work. And every time something didn't work for me, I assumed that the missing piece was still out there. I was like, well, that wasn't the strategy. Guess I got to go learn more. And I would go back and learn more. Who has done that? Tell me I'm not alone in this process. In fact, I know I'm not alone because I read your messages every single day, right? So you invest again, you buy another course, you buy another coach, you blah, 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 blah. In May 2023, I was 7 years in. I looked at my husband and I literally told him I was done. I was like, I think I've tried all the things. I've exploited every angle. I've done this, and this. Like, how am I not successful yet? I must not be cut out for this. I am tired. I had adrenal fatigue. Like, I was done. And we were deep in the hole in debt. Okay. I was tired of struggling. And, I told him that, but here's the kicker. When you realize that you're supposed to be a founder, when you realize that you are supposed to build something of your own, the fire just doesn't go away. And you can't stop thinking about it. So even though I told my husband I was done, my mind and my heart and my body were like, no, you're not. No, you're not, right? The fire burned and I couldn't let it go out. So I decided to try one more time. Except this time I didn't try a new strategy. Okay, I actually turned inward instead of looking outward for the answer. It was the moment, this is how it feels, that I stopped eating everything at the buffet table. Like, instead of bringing my plate up to the buffet and like putting everything on the buffet because I'm like, oh my God, FOMO. I just took my plate and I put what I really wanted on it. Okay. And I didn't feel like I was missing anything by not putting the other things on my plate. And I literally put my blinders on. I stopped following all the gurus' advice. I stopped scrolling and searching for what could be missing. And I went all in on me and how I was designed to show up. Guess what happened? 100,000 followers in 4 months. I had started from 0. On this very account that you are watching this from, I had started from 0. 100,000 followers in 4 months, 250 plus thousand followers in a year, and a multiple 6-figure business in less than 6 months. Who wants that? Who wants that to happen? And I'm not saying you'll get that in the exact amount of time or you'll make that amount of money. No, I'm not saying that. But who wants that feeling of what that success, like the success that you know that you are destined for? Because you're sitting here right now, you wouldn't be watching this live if you didn't think so. If you didn't think that you were cut out, if you didn't think that you could, if you didn't want to. And I know that you all want to, right? It would feel really, really good. I see your fire emojis. Yeah, it would feel like fire, straight fire. So let me teach you the actual thing. Does that sound good? Let me teach you the actual thing. Because here's the mistake underneath all of it. You've just been treating clarity like a decision. Like if you just think hard enough or weigh the options long enough that you'll finally pick correctly. Clarity is not a decision. Clarity is a recognition. Let me say that again. Clarity is not a decision. It's a recognition. You are not choosing your offer like out of thin air or from what's the most popular thing out there. You're actually recognizing something that's already been sitting within your life, probably for years. Which means that every hour that you spend brainstorming was an hour looking in the wrong direction. You've been looking forward when the answer was behind you. Does that make sense? You've been looking forward when the answer's been behind you. So let's look at the 3 places where your perfectly designed multi-6-figure, eventually 7-figure business is hiding. Okay. 1, what did you already solve for yourself? You can write these down if that helps you. What did you already design? What did you already solve for yourself? Okay, not professionally, but personally. The thing that you have been in the middle of, that you figured out, the thing that was hard. And the thing about this thing that you're going to identify is most people talk themselves out of thinking this is even something that could be profitable for them. Because they think, well, everybody's done that, or everybody knows that, or that's just my life. Laura Woodside said, taking notes. Yes, ma'am. Go, take notes. So number one, what did you already solve for yourself? Let me give you some examples. Maybe you have been through a divorce. You figured out how to navigate divorce. Maybe you figured out how to navigate divorce with 2 kids. Maybe you've had a special needs child and you figured out the school system with a special needs child. Maybe you've built your first house. I'm trying to think of like all the topics. You can literally, this could be in anywhere in your life. Maybe you got pregnant for the first time after a miscarriage. Maybe, all these things. What did you solve for yourself? That's number one. Okay. You've already paid for the education for this thing because you've already figured it out. Now, number two, what do people already come to you for? You don't have to have all of these. I'm just giving you 3 ways that you can figure out what exactly it is that you are designed to sell so that you can go, hey, this is my offer. This is exciting. I'm ready to go. So number 2 is, what do people already come to you for? Without positioning yourself as an expert or anything, like, what is the thing that people will text you for? For me, a lot of times I'll tell you, it's obviously now it's business stuff, but before I actually became an entrepreneur and a founder and created a multi-6-figure business, it was health and wellness, because I became obsessed when I had my first baby on removing the toxins from my home. Wild Rose Welding says artwork. Like, what is it, the thing that what's the problem people have? What's the question that they ask you? What can't they figure out that you've already figured out? What do people come to you for? Okay. That's the market telling you what you're good at before you've even tried to sell it. Number 3, what can you not stop talking about? My guess for Wild Rose Welding is that if artwork is the thing that people constantly come to this person for, then artwork is probably the thing, or there's some part inside of artwork that you can't stop talking about. You're obsessed with it, right? The thing that you get loud about, the thing that your spouse is maybe tired of hearing about, the thing that, like, if a stranger comes up to you and starts talking to you about it, you could be like, blah, 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 and go on and on and on forever. The joke is, because I did CrossFit, so I could make this joke. I was a competitive gymnast for 14 years, and competitive gymnasts have this thing where, like, just going to the gym is not good enough for them. After you're a competitive gymnast and then you quit gymnastics, you can't just go to the gym. You're like, I need something else. This is when I found CrossFit. So the joke with CrossFit people is like, how do you know someone does CrossFit? And the answer is, they don't stop talking about CrossFit. Well, that's what I want for you. Plants. How do you know someone is really good at keeping plants alive? They don't stop talking about plants. How do you know somebody is really good at teaching kids reading? They constantly talk about teaching kids reading. I'm obviously going off a deep end here, but it literally could be anything. What can you not stop talking about? What can you not stop talking about? It's not a hobby. It's your energy coming through. You have 2 things competing. How do you choose? So I'm gonna help you with that. I'll come back to you, Rachel. Okay. Yoga and PT. Okay. So here's the part I need you to be honest with me about. Ready? You can write all 3 things down. And this is what, Rachel. This is what Rachel is just saying. Like, okay, I can write something down for all 3 things, but like, how do I pick? How do I know? Right? Or you can write things down, but still not see it. And here's why. You can't read the label from inside the jar. Okay. You've been staring at your own story for so long that it stopped looking like anything. And you just thought, well, this is just my life. It's so obvious to you, which is exactly why you can't see that it's valuable. Does that make sense? It's like you can't see the forest through the trees, right? And that's not a you problem either, by the way. That's every founder. You just haven't been taught how to pull it out. But that's also why coaches have coaches. It's why people hire coaches to help them. Correct? Right? So my 2 daughters are gymnasts. One has quit gymnastics. The other one's still a gymnast. I pay coaches to coach her because they can see things that I can't see. They can see things that she can't see. She's performing the task, but there's somebody else on the outside watching how she's doing it and being able to be like, oh, hey, your toe wasn't pointed in that thing. Or, hey, your legs are together, right? All these things. It's why we hire coaches. The list that we just made, 1, 2, 3, that's the easy part. Now, somebody looking at the list and going, that's the one, that's the business. And here's why it's always going to be that one. But the questions come after that, like Rachel just asked. Well, what does it look like? How would I sell it? How do I teach that? How do I attract people to me? How do I create content talking about that thing? That's where I come in, right? That's the part you can't do alone. And that's the part that's written into your design. But if you don't know how to access it, you will spin your wheels for 7 years like I did, and I don't want you to do that. So who wants a real example? Do you want a real example of what this looks like, where I was able to help a student process this, like where he was before and now where he is now? Do we want a real example? Yes? Okay. Here's a real example for you. This is going to blow your mind. One of my students struggled for over a year before he came to me, before finding me. Okay. He had chosen a niche that was popular, and he was creating content 3 times a day in this niche. Okay. He was getting no engagement, no comments, no opt-ins, and no money. Nothing. Which, after being laid off from his job, was pretty tough. Okay. So he was trying to have a go at becoming a founder, but he was hitting up a wall. And he messaged me, and I have his message saved still. And he's like, I just don't understand. I'm doing exactly what they tell me to do. I'm posting exactly like they're telling me to post. And still, I'm not making any money. I have no opt-ins. I have no comments. I have no engagement. He's like, I don't get it. And instead of me being like, well, that's because you're not posting 3 times a day or 5 times a day or 7 times a day, and you're not posting this content like a robot. No, I actually got on the phone with him, and we walked through this 3-step blueprint. Okay. In one call together, we figured it out. And instead of going with everyone else's strategy and what everyone else was selling, we actually dove into his story and his experiences. Okay. So I asked him some questions. We pulled out some of the information from his life and his experiences, and it was right there. It was literally right in front of him. Budget cooking. It was sitting in his own life and his own experiences and his own wisdom the whole time. Do you want to know where he is now? He is a top TikTok creator. He is monetized on TikTok. He is one of 10 invitees, I guess you would call them, on a TikTok cooking show. He is monetized by YouTube. He's got over 250,000 followers just on TikTok alone. Remember, he was posting 3 times a day in a different niche, having no followers, no engagement, no comments. He's now over 250,000 on just one platform. Okay. Monetized on YouTube, which if you know monetization on YouTube, it takes a certain amount of watch hours to get there, right? Monetized on TikTok, and he created a paid membership where he has paying members who show up every single month and pay him for his content every single month. Imagine. I did not hand him the idea. I did not say, hey, this niche is popular. Let's go with this niche. I pulled it out of him. It was already in his story, and the answer was already inside him. He just needed someone who could see it. Yes? Okay? So here's what we're doing on August 16th. You ready? This is where you're like, you gotta just wave your hand and say, I'm in. Okay? August 16th, 7 p.m. Eastern Time. It's called the Future Founder Fast Track. And I've built this offer based on the questions that you have literally asked me in my DMs. The questions that my students have come to me with over the past couple of years. The questions that have led to the answers that I've been able to help students like my cooking student get to where he is today. And also the things that have built my business and gotten me to where I am today as well. And this Future Founder Fast Track solves the 3 things that I just spent 20 minutes with you guys describing. Clarity. You walk out knowing what you're meant to sell. That should be the biggest thing for you guys, because right now most of you are sitting on multiple ideas, a list of options, and you're not sure which one to go with, like Rachel. Okay? So that's going to answer that question for you. You walk out knowing exactly what to sell. You know why it's going to be that one. And I am not giving you like a worksheet. No, you're going to pull it out of your own story. And then I'm going to do what I do with all my students, and I'm going to help you see what you can't see from inside the jar. Exactly what I did with my cooking student that got him where he is, okay? Clarity is number 1. Speed is number 2. In 60 minutes, what took me 7 years and over $100,000 investing in coaches and programs and mentorship, I'm compressing it into an hour for you. because you shouldn't have to spend days figuring this out. What I already figured out. I should be able to give you the shortcut, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. Okay? Direction. You're going to leave knowing exactly what order to build in, so that you stop doing all 6 things at the same time and you feel like you're going nowhere. And you leave with a first move instead of a feeling, and it's exactly how you are designed to move, which is different from me, and it's different from all the other people on this live. Every single person is designed differently. Okay? 60 minutes live with me. Now, if you're anything like me, let me guess, the 3 things that you're probably thinking right now. 1, I can't make it live. It's okay. I get it. We have different time zones. We have different countries. We have different responsibilities. We're all busy. I get it. But if you want speed, clarity, and direction, and you want to be a founder by 2027, and you want to stop dicking around, because truthfully, like, that's what it feels like, right? When you're like, I've tried all these strategies. I'm so tired of trying strategies. I just want someone to tell me exactly what to do. If that's you and you want to become the founder that you've always dreamt of being by 2027, then you'll show up live. And if you can't get there live, then you'll make sure to watch the replay. Okay, the replay is available. But come live if you can. Because the live room is where I riff with people and sometimes pull people up, right? And that could be you. And that's usually where it all clicks. Now, here's what you might be thinking is like, oh, Gwen, I don't even have an idea yet. I don't have an offer. Great, that's exactly who this is built for. I'm going to help you find the clarity. I'm going to help you pull the idea out of you. You bring your story, which you already have. I'll do the rest. Okay? Even if you've been working at this for years and you quote unquote have tried things and have failed or haven't been successful, you will walk away with the clarity that it took me 7 years to find. Does that sound good? Yeah? You might also be thinking, I've bought so many things, Gwen, and nothing has changed. Girl, I know. I did the same thing. And I was like, in fact, here's a funny story. In 2022, I left 2022. I was like, I'm not investing again. I'm done. I'm done hiring coaches. I'm done with programs. I promise I'm not going to do it. And I made a pact with my husband that I wouldn't. And then in 2023, I was like, I just see that there's one thing that I need to do. And if I can understand this one thing, and he's like, okay, fine, go invest in it. Fine. Right. If you've bought stuff before and nothing has changed, I get it. I bought $100,000 worth of coaching programs. And I need you to hear this too. All of those things have led me to where I am today. They may not have gotten me the answer that I thought I was going to get at that point, but they have given me information of where I needed to be today, right? Michael Douglas Levine is joined. Hello. So everything you bought was from somebody else's blueprint. This one that we do starts with yours, okay? If you know this is you. If you're like, Gwen just called me out, I want to be there, I'm excited for this, I need clarity, I need speed, I need direction, I want to skip 7 years and become the founder by 2027, you can head right to my profile, and the link is in my profile. It's called the Future Founder Fast Track. Once you register, you will get an email with all the details. It's going to be on Zoom, okay? And I'm not going to tell you, by the way, that you're missing something. That's not it. Most coaches' marketing plans is to make you think that you're missing something. Kyle Lewis at 7 p.m. Eastern time. But again, if you count yourself out because you can't make the live, then will you watch the replay? Right? So most coaches are going to make you think that you're missing something. Why do they do that? Because then they're going to go, hey, if you're missing something, if that's you, well, then I have the answer. Right? Here's the thing that I'm telling you that you're missing, and it's going to be another strategy and another blueprint. And guess what? You're not missing anything. They do that so that they can show up with the magic pill. Not me. In my world, the greatest thing is that you're not missing a thing. You've got everything you need. You just need someone to help you pull it out of you. And to help you stand 10 toes in the ground with what you discover, and then to know exactly what to do first, next, and last. And that's what I'm going to do for you. The answer was always inside of you. The answer was always inside of you. I'm just going to help you pull it out. Okay. So the link is in my profile. You can grab it there. You can also message me, FFCO. Frank, Carl. No, Carl could be a K. Frank, caption, ocean. I don't know. I'm really bad at that. FFCO. Message me, FFCO, or of course you can go in and head to my profile and grab the link. August 16th, 7 p.m. Eastern time. The Mountain Mindset says, thank you for being here. Currently working on the mindset coaching for young competitive skiers and boarders with my past results, X Games and the Olympics. Amazing. I'm still running up against a success wall. It is a Mountain Mindset. It is most likely just you are navigating against your design with something. Either it's your offer that is against your design. It's the way that you're messaging or your marketing that's against your design. And so what we're going to do in this workshop is help you figure out how to figure that out. I would love to have you there. Okay. You come in thinking about wanting to be the founder that you've always wanted to be, and you leave my world being one. That's why I show up here. Are there any other questions about this workshop? Also checking on my Facebook peeps too. If you have questions, my DMs are always open. Oh, that's your birthday. Perfect. What a great present. What a great present for you if you really want it, right? If you told me, let me reframe this for you, Wild Rose Welding. In April of 2023 is when I had like a breakdown. Okay, I had to take my girls out of gymnastics because we couldn't afford it anymore. I'm pointing over here because my girls are in gymnastics right now while I'm in this car doing this live. In April 2023, my birthday is in April. If you told me in April 2023, hey Gwen, for your birthday, I will give you speed, direction, and clarity and help you skip 7 years of trial and error, I would be like, that's a perfect birthday present. Yes, sign me up, right? Okay. So all that's left to do is head to my profile, grab the link, sign up, save your spot, and I will see you there. I am thrilled to be able to do this with you guys, like thrilled. And I can't wait to see what comes out of this for you. I want you moving like Benjamin moved. I want you moving like my student who was working against himself for an entire year. And as soon as we pulled out his story, he took off. I want that happening for you. It's not a coincidence. It's exactly what you are designed to do when you are leading by your design. I'm going to show you how to do it. 7 p.m. Eastern time, August 16th. You'll see all the details in my profile at the link. If you have any questions, just message me. Otherwise, I will see you guys there. I love you. I will talk to you later. Goodbye.